A couple days ago, I had the opportunity to spend the morning with you as you did the groundbreaking for the Westlake extension. To say, for anybody that is aware of that, to say that that's like a defining moment, knowing how many people have been involved for how many years to make that happen, how many parties that had to get involved across counties and state and personalities, and there's just a whole lot of stuff that had to come together. A common theme at that event and every other thing related to that was that unity, that how do you get Northwest Indiana? How do you get all these different counties working together? How did that happen? We don't, and I count us as we now because I'm in the region, but we're not known for getting along. So why did that work as well as it did?
Well, this is, I don't want to take credit for this because, as you allude to or articulate, a lot of people have been working on this for decades, and it is a no-brainer. And so when I got elected and started looking at what are their priorities, this just seemed like we have to get this done. So what's it going to take? And it took consensus building, and it took getting folks on the same page. It took a lot of who cares who gets credit for this? Let's just get it done. It I think took sharing that this is our moment where all the stars can align, whether it be local, state, federal. It took leadership for sure, saying this is a number one priority for me. It took, I think, an approach. We take the approach of building one Indiana for all. And if double tracking the South Shore Line or expanding the Westlake Corridor is good for the region or the northwest quadrant of our state, by the way, that is good for the rest of the state as well, because we're clearly, all in this thing together. And so we want Jefferson. I'm rooting for Jeffersonville when I'm in Gary, and I'm rooting for Gary when I'm in Jeffersonville, and couldn't be further apart and still in the same state. But to see the northwest quadrant of our state and to see Jeffersonville, the River Ridge area, just booming as well. These areas have been, they have become magnetic. And in what you just said, in terms of drawing talent and residences, and for sure businesses, we talked a little bit about the potential and going to be realized economic development, but it's also bringing people, which we need just as much as we need the jobs. And by the way, when they do come and when they share their personal stories with me, it's almost like they have this Einstein moment of the relevancy of space and time. They get back time in their lives, which means they get to spend it with their family, or they have more space to enjoy with their family, or their dollar goes further on this side of the border than the other. And so it's very important that we continue to prioritize, our location.
Yeah.
And that means investing in our infrastructure like rail. And so when you can get from, Wheaton or Naperville to the city, or you can get from Valparaiso to the city in the same time, or Michigan City to the city in the same time, we win. And because of look around.
By a large margin. It's not just you win. It's the finances of the state aren't good. The regulations of the state aren't good. The business climate of the state isn't good. The tax base of the state, everything's not good.
Yeah.
And it's better over here. But and I know this will moderate some related to COVID, but ultimately there's going to be a post-COVID day.
That's right.
And people will go to cities again, and people will travel to conferences. It's not like we're going to be in this forever.
That's right.
It feels like forever, but we're not going to be in this forever. And I think being connected to a Chicago market, it's just.
And the other thing beyond the physical investments, that day to me, and I've had a few others, but that day to me, the Hoosier psyche, the understanding that we can and we will, to your point about we'll be on the other side of COVID, we can and we will do big things. We have talked about this for decades. We have talked about completing in Southwest Indiana I-69 since the Korean conflict. we're actually going to finish it. And people tear up when they think we're on section 6 of I-69. People teared up when they not are just envisioning how nice it would be to double track, not single track for a century. Tear up when they understand this is going to happen. It is happening. And that's something that shows we can do big things here, and we can do big things together. And maybe it's a prerequisite that we do the big things together.